Hi, everybody. We're putting together something here that we hope will become a part of your day.
Regis, what do you think? Excuse me, the chair's there,
Excuse me,
couch
folks.
there.
Cindy, please, I'm trying to talk with people here.
Yeah, but you understand, we only have a week to make everything
She's
perfect.
absolutely right. We have a week. We're building our set, our new home for the morning show.
The Morning Show with Regis Philbin and Cindy Garvey, starting Monday at 9 on Channel 7.
Do you think everything's going to be okay?
Oh, sure. As long as she's around, it's going to be great. I think.
Jack Lemmon and Missing, 7:30 tonight.
Maybe this isn't such a good idea. Maybe we should wait until tomorrow when you've had a chance to get a good night's sleep.
Sleep. That's all I've been doing for weeks, so they tell me. You know, Mrs. Kavanaugh, please let me talk.
Look, Barbara, you know very well we want to hear what you have to say, but you don't have to.
I can't believe you're here at all. I thought you wouldn't want to have anything more to do with me after what I did to you.
We understand the pressure you were under and the fact that Nora Fulton was behind it all.
In more ways than one.
You're the first people I wanted to see now that I've finally come back. I don't think I'd want to come back if I couldn't get your forgiveness.
Oh, don't worry about that. Just tell us what you want us to hear.
I just want you to understand that Nora Fulton was like the devil whispering in my ear. She got me to do things I'm so ashamed of.
Like confirming the lie that Miles attempted to rape her.
It was a lie. A horrible lie. I can't believe I let her do that to me. Get me into something so sickening and awful. But it was like falling into some horrible slimy pit. Once I'd gotten there, I just couldn't climb out again.
You don't have to tell it all tonight.
I want you to know the most important part. The police officer who was here before, he said that there was some suspicion you might have been responsible for what happened to me.
Yeah, well, some people might have thought that. I was in your apartment that night.
But there were two other people there, too, you know. One of them being the fellow that came from the bar, a man named Preacher.
He was Nora's idea, too. She picked him up for me and then gave him the wrong idea.
But he left and Nora came back?
Yes, and I was so horribly upset by then. I told her I didn't want to have anything more to do. I wanted to get out of it.
I know you wanted to do the right thing. I'm sure of that.
Nora went crazy when I told her that. She screamed at me and threatened me. And when I told her it was no use, I wasn't going to change my mind, she reached behind her.
All right, that's enough. That's enough.
I didn't realize what she was going to do, that she was going to take that ashtray and... Who knows? Maybe it was the right punishment. Maybe it was the right punishment. Maybe I deserved what happened to me.
No. Nora Fulton had no right to decide your punishment.
But she was punished too, wasn't she? I mean, I heard someone say she was murdered.
I'm not saying that Preacher committed murder. I'm saying that he had a motive, a very strong motive.
Blackmail is a very strong motive.
Well, he knew that he would be a suspect if anyone found out that he was in Barbara's apartment that night.
Nora was the only person who knew, so he probably felt threatened by that.
Threatening people are dangerous, Jody.
Here you go. Are you sure you don't want anything else? No, I'm going to have dinner at home.
You know, maybe you ought to invite Preacher to the seance.
The what?
Yeah, didn't you hear? We are going to have a seance at my place. And we are going to bring Nora Fulton back from the grave.
The Edge of Night is brought to you by Tide. The extra action in Tide means dirt can't hide. And by Mild Ivory Liquid. It helps hands stay young-looking.
How old am I? I'm 25. So am I.
One of these swimmers is not 25, but 34. She's Mary Lou Kenworthy, mother of two. Can you pick her out? They both look so young. But let's see their hands. They look young, too.
My hands need as much care as the rest of me, so they deserve Ivory Liquid for dishes. The name Ivory has always meant mildness to me, and I trust it to treat my hands gently. The rich, mild suds help my hands stay young-looking. even with all the dishes I do.
Still can't tell who's 34?
It's me.
Well, you sure look young.
Swimming helps.
What helped your hands look so young?
My hands? Oh, Ivory Liquid. The mildness helps a lot. I'd never use anything else.
Mild Ivory Liquid helps hands look young.
How loyal are people to the brands they choose?
I will swap your furniture polish for 2 of this other brand.
I'll swap.
Would you trade
Yes,
your
I'll
corn?
swap.
You'll swap
I'll
your
swap,
corn?
yeah.
When you swap your Tide for 2 of this other detergent.
No, I've always used Tide. I can't swap that.
What does it work on? You have children?
My husband is really a bigger baby. He's worse than anybody.
Well,
You know, he gets down in the pipes or whatever construction workers do, I don't know. But he brings in a lot of dirt. And Tide just works. Tide works on everything that I have. It meets all of my washing needs.
How loyal are people to Tide?
I have confidence in Tide. I rely on it. I depend on it. And it's all I'll ever use.
Women just won't give up the clean they get with Tide.
It was all Cliff's idea, but it's still a good one.
Thanks a lot.
See, I had this date with Gunther, and I found out that he's really into this spirit world stuff. So, we figured that if we gave him a good enough scare, he'll confess.
Yeah, that's what worries me. If he's really into this stuff, I hope we're doing everything right. I mean, do we have a table to hold the seance at where we all hold hands? And do I have to hold Gunther's hand?
Cliff, I don't even think you should be there. I mean, I don't think he's gonna like it.
Probably right. I should hide in the closet. Make sure Nora Fulton comes back from the other side.
Do you believe what you're hearing?
Well, I can believe it, but I don't understand it.
Well, you see, these 2 lunatics think they're going to get Gunther to blurt out a confession by having the ghost of Nora accuse him.
Oh, so you're not really serious. This is just a gag that you're playing on Gunther, right?
Oh, no, if we had a genuine medium, we would go for it, but we don't, so we have to fake it.
Jordy, I saw Gunther and Nora together that night, and I don't know how he got into the studio to kill her.
Or out.
Right. But I figure if we give him a good enough scare, he's gonna talk.
Yeah, I want to see how Gunther reacts when that medium goes into her act.
Well, what medium is it? And if you're not going to do the real thing, who did you get?
Oh, the medium is someone who cares a lot.
Hello, Mrs. Goodman.
Ah, nice of you folks to come home. I was beginning to feel lonely.
Hope you have some food ready. We're both starving.
Oh, that's good news for a change. I'm glad to see you got your appetite back.
It's because we finally heard some good news for a change.
Oh, about that lady at the hospital?
Yeah, she's definitely out of her coma. I think she'll be just fine in a little while.
Oh, it's more than that. She has exonerated Miles completely of everything.
Not of everything, Nicole.
Yes, she has. She's told the whole truth about herself, about Nora Fulton, about the false accusation.
Oh, my gosh, that's just great news. Oh, well, I wish we could celebrate. Oh, I would have made something special if I'd known.
Anything edible will do.
Ah, well, I better get to it then. The pot roast in the kitchen.
Oh, Miles. We really should be celebrating. This is a wonderful thing that has happened to us.
Yeah, mostly to Barbara.
No, to us, too. I feel like a tremendous weight has just been lifted from our shoulders.
It's very good news. It just doesn't have to be enough good news, that's all.
It's an omen. It's a sign from heaven that everything is going to be all right.
How can everything be all right?
Oh,
You
please,
don't tell
Ma.
the truth. You
Well, don't
refuse
spoil
to
this
admit what
mood.
happened in
Please
the
don't
studio.
spoil this good
Don't spoil-
mood.
Can you just say one thing to me? Tell me how I am supposed to feel if you go on trial for a crime that I committed.
Well, I've been thinking about that. And I've been thinking about what this news will mean. When the jury hears of what a monstrous thing that Nora has done, they will understand her and they will know how she could drive someone to an act of violence.
Someone happens to be me. It isn't you.
You don't believe that yourself. You just told me you thought that Gunther was involved in this.
That's a straw that I happen to be clutching at right now.
I don't want to talk about it right now. I want to go put on something pretty. Even if it's only pot roast.
You look wonderful in pot roast. Now, come with me.
Well, at least we can have some flowers for the table. Oh.
Abracadabra. Telemarusha. Maramarusha.
Well, such is not so bad, I think.
It's terrible. What am I doing?
Hi, Gunther.
What the hell is the matter with you? You have to go creeping around the house like some kind of ghost?
If I take some Heinz ketchup at the start of your meal and put it right here, and put this other well-known brand right here, something amazing happens before you're half through. See? The competition ran. And Heinz is thicker. Here's where the thickness pays off. Taste. Because on a hamburger or anything else, Heinz is the best-tasting ketchup.
So pour on the Heinz, America's thickest, best-tasting ketchup.
Time to make the donuts. Dunkin' Donuts are always fresh.
I made the donuts.
We make them at least twice every day.
Time to make the donuts.
Not a few kinds, like supermarkets.
I made the donuts. Time to make the donuts.
But up to 52 varieties.
The donuts. Time to make the donuts. I made the donuts.
All this work is tougher on us, but better for you.
Beyond the grave?
All right, give it to me.
I know you've got the shakes. You should really stick to the WABC twin books.
Give it to me, wise guy.
You really interested in spooks? I mean, you must be if you will actually read an entire book.
I found it on the shelf just now.
Oh, I see. Well, I hope it's got a lot of pictures in it. But you know, if you really want to scare yourself, all you have to do is look in the mirror.
You're the only spook around this house, Spence.
You know something, Gunther? You may be right. Lately, I feel like I am haunting this house instead of living in it.
Well, maybe you ought to read this. It'll make you think about some things. I'm telling you, there are a lot of things that go on around us you wouldn't believe.
You're right again. There's not much I do believe.
Oh, man, you are hopeless. You know, it doesn't do any good to argue with you. What have you been doing all day?
Been doing my job.
I mean, doing yourself out of a job, huh?
I had a particularly unpleasant assignment this evening, given to me by our beloved employer. I just closed the Whitney Theater.
No kidding?
No kidding.
Well, I just read an article in the newspaper saying they were getting ready to put on a new production, some kind of highbrow stuff.
Well, luckily, you won't have to see it.
Good.
Where is the boss, anyway? I'm sure he'll be glad to hear the good news.
Last time I saw him, he was upstairs packing, getting ready for his trip.
What trip?
Oh, you mean you haven't heard? He's going to Washington.
Washington? What for?
Well, how should I know? Maybe he's going to buy the country. Maybe that's why he's collecting all this money.
He never said a thing to me about it.
Oh, poor baby got his feelings hurt.
He's got no business interest there, at least none that I know of.
All right, so maybe it has something to do with taxes. I mean, that's where you send the money, right, Washington?
I suppose I should try to find out what's going on around here.
You think he's going to tell you?
Well, I wish you luck, but I don't see how you're going to fool Gunther.
Because he wants to believe in this stuff, and that's half the battle.
It is all a matter of creating the right atmosphere, yeah?
Well, I still don't know why you won't tell me who the medium is. Come on, is it somebody I know?
Well, the medium isn't important.
Then why don't you just tell Jody?
Because the person in question wishes to remain anonymous.
Smart lady.
The real problem, however, is Nora.
Definitely. She may not want to come back from the dead. It might be too long of a climb.
Well, that's another thing I don't understand. I mean, how are you going to convince Gunther that it's Nora's spirit coming back to Earth?
Oh, that was difficult, but I worked it out.
You have? Why didn't you tell me?
Well, actually, Calvin's going to help me with it if ever it gets here.
Calvin, is he in on this, too?
No, he told me he wasn't going to take any part of it. And I told him he was being very wise.
Well, he's not going to help us directly, but he does have something for me, but he's late.
Yeah, well, I don't think I'm going to be able to hang around. I want to get home and talk tomorrow in the cold.
No, come on, just 5 more minutes, all right?
Why? No, I don't think so. I really have to be going.
Well, howdy. What you got there, youngster?
An old piece of Mom's kitchen tile.
Good grief. This tile's the color my floor used to be, but look at the difference.
That's 'cause there's ground-in dirt stuck in those little crevices.
You need spick and span every time.
But is it safe?
For no wax?
Sure. It cleans into crevices and lifts out ground-in dirt that dulls your floor's color.
Beautiful, Minnie.
Nice going, Ma.
Spick and span every time helps show your floor's true colors.
You know, when Drew and I first started out, times were pretty tough. So we cut corners whenever we could. And I'm not ashamed to admit that I've tried cheaper shortenings. But I came back to Crisco. 'Cause Crisco makes my chicken taste like something special with no greasy taste.
Mighty tasty.
Chicken this good must mean you're doing something right.
Come on, Ma, let's eat.
All vegetable, no cholesterol, Crisco.
Crisco will do you proud every time.
Remember last year when the 24-hour bug made a house call? You were prepared. You gave everybody Pepto-Bismol. It coated, soothed, relieved the nausea and cramps, and especially the diarrhea. Pepto-Bismol was quite a relief to everybody last year. Well, that bug is in the air again this year. Are you prepared?
Something tells me you've just lost your appetite.
Who, me?
Absolutely not. How long has it been since you've seen Jody?
A while, I guess.
She saw you. I hope you noticed.
No, I didn't.
She saw you, Gavin. She just pretended not to see you.
Let's concentrate on the menu, okay?
All right.
Oh, hi, Gavin.
Hey, buddy.
Miss Devereaux. Well, here I am. Better late than never. In this case, maybe never would have been better. I'm not sure. How's my very own Clarence Darrow?
Clarence Darrow, I must really need a facial.
Oops. Sorry, I guess I should have said Clarissa.
That's all right. You can sit here.
Thanks, Clarice Darrow. Something like that. I don't know. I just don't know the names of any famous lady lawyers.
Portia.
Didn't she have her own TV show once?
Mitzi, I think, at the one out of Shakespeare, you know, The Merchant of Venice.
Well, look, did Jody give you the good news about Barbara Montgomery?
Well, she told us part of the story, that Nora was the one who beat her up, but what do you know?
Well, from what she told me, Miles is completely off the hook, not only as far as that beating is concerned, but also for that phony rape charge Nora brought against her.
I don't know anyone who believed that.
Yeah, well, the point is now it is official.
Boy, that was some lady. She had a lot of enemies.
Yeah. I think if Barbara hadn't been in that coma all this time, she'd have been a suspect in the murder case, too.
I still say our #1 suspect is Mr. Gunther Wagner.
You must know that these two are still going to go through that seance nonsense?
Mm-hmm. And I also know that I want to stay completely out of it.
Does that mean you didn't bring what I asked you for?
By the way, when is this mischief due to take place?
Well, it's tomorrow night. Mitzi already told Gunther that Madame Blatsy's going to go over to her house.
Yeah, well, you ought to have good weather for it anyway.
What do you mean by that?
Didn't you hear the forecast? They're expecting huge thunderstorms.
Cliff!
Oh, that would be terrific. That's the right atmosphere for a seance.
You don't need atmosphere. You need a ghost.
Well, I was expecting Calvin to help us with that.
Sorry, Cliff. I decided I could not get you what you wanted.
Well, why not? I would have given it back to you.
It is police property. I could get in a lot of trouble for borrowing it, even for one day. And after that little scam with Raven, I think I've had enough trouble to last my whole career. Thank you very much.
This is a big disappointment, Calvin.
Yeah, well, don't let it get to you, my man. I have brought you something almost as good.
I suppose I should have suggested any place but the rock garden. I knew I might have to see you burned by your old flame.
Well, let's not make a big thing out of it. I was just caught off guard, that's all.
Which translates, you just missed an excellent opportunity to talk with her.
It wouldn't have mattered anyway. She's not talking to me.
Well, I talk with you. I do a lot more than talk. Doesn't that make you happy?
Of course it does. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come along, Camilla.
You mean I guide your way so you won't get lost, like a girl guide, hmm? Never mind. What do we order?
Good idea.
Don't worry, man. We'll be over at your apartment tonight. Okay, bye. Bye.
Here, Miss. Excuse me, could we order, please?
Yeah. Hiya, Gavin.
Hi, Mitzi. What are the specials this evening?
Yeah, tonight we have steak with orange sauce and Duck Diane. Something like that.
I'll try the duck.
It sounds good to me, too. Do you want a salad?
Yes, please.
2 house salads. And do you want to start with something to drink?
Oh, yes, I'd like some white wine, please.
All right, 2. Make that 2.
You're gonna drink 2 wines?
No, one's for me, Mitzi.
Yeah, okay. Diane, listen, can you do me a favor? Will you take care of their order for me? Sure. Good, I appreciate it. Okay. I am gonna take a trip to my apartment. See you later.
Oh, I'm so glad you're finally all right.
Fine. And we're glad to see that you're fine, too. At long last, you're out of that bedroom.
And looking pretty healthy, I would say.
Yeah, only do us all a favor, okay? The next time you decide to disappear like that, would you leave a note or something?
Yes, Jody, do that. Mrs. Goodman was very worried.
Yes, I certainly was. I mean, you're lying up there for 3 days, and then all of a sudden you're gone.
I know, I'm sorry. I just was feeling better. Thought it was time to get up and get out.
Out where? Where'd you go?
Oh, just out. Come on, never mind about me. Tell me about Barbara.
Listen,
what did she
hey,
say?
come back here. It's time for you to do the talking now. There's been enough secrecy in this house. Come on.
What secrecy?
Jody, we'd like to ask you about someone.
Mrs. Goodman, you think we might have some coffee?
Oh, yeah, sure thing, Doc.
Jody, someone came over here to see you.
I know what you're going to ask.
Well, why don't you save us the trouble of asking? Just tell us, then.
His name is Preacher. Well, at least that's his nickname. And I met him at the video disco. He's the manager.
Is that where you've been going instead of the rock garden? You've been going to a discotheque?
Well, I just wanted to try a new place.
A new place? They're both new. The rock garden's new. I thought they opened on the same day.
It's because you wanted to meet somebody new? Is that it?
Well, I'm not seeing Gavin anymore, and he certainly hasn't wasted any time finding somebody else. And in fact, I saw him at the rock garden tonight.
Whoa. We're talking about you and this guy, Preacher.
Look, I know you probably don't approve because he's not exactly a three-piece suit type.
No, he's not.
Well, actually, he's really not that bad, and besides, he's only a friend.
He seemed like he might be a little bit more than that. I mean, he was so interested in your health.
We don't want to pass judgments on your friends, but,
To put it bluntly, we didn't like this Preacher very much.
well, I feel more than just dislike for him. As a matter of fact, I'm a little scared of your new friend.
To me. So I look into what I use on my skin. And when I chose Johnson's baby powder from Johnson & Johnson, first I did this test. Johnson's is so much softer and silkier than any other powder. You really can feel the difference. If being your softest means as much to you as it does to me, don't settle for less than the softest powder. Johnson's baby powder. Because don't you want to be as soft as you can be?
On Ryan's Hope,
Lee, how am I going to keep him? You're just going to be yourself.
Lee's sisterly advice leaves Faith out in the cold. Ryan's Hope, weekdays.
During the second seance, a disembodied white hand appeared in the center of the table and seemed to be making an attempt to pick up the letter knife lying there. Suddenly, there was a sound of eerie laughter in the room. There's enough of that. Yes, hello. Is this Rock Garden? Right. I would like to talk with Mitzi Martin. She has? No. No, never mind. I don't know if I want to see any spooks tomorrow night.
Mitzi. No, Mitzi, it's not. It's just a tape. It's just a tape. It's what I asked Cal to get it from the police files.
Except that he couldn't. This is the tape from the WMON News.
I guess that answers our question, if it'll work or not. We could have did to Mitzi. Just think what it'll do to Gunther.
You're just an old chameleon, Machiavellian, my friend. You've been changing on your mama since the day you slithered in. 1 minute, you're the boy next door. The next, you're a dirty rat. You a bad chameleon. Now, who do you think you're looking at? New chameleon sunglasses.
They can change your whole outlook.
Oh.
Today the 5th? Mm-hmm. The Neighborhood Park Committee.
At 2.
And look at this greasy mess.
We need something fast.
409's fast. Thank goodness.
Not bad.
409's powerful grease dissolvers cut grease fast.
You change. I'll finish.
Thanks.
409, so effective it starts to work before you start to wipe.
Oh, your kitchen is always so perfect.
How do you do it? Teamwork.
Formula 409, it starts to work before you start to wipe. And now save money with our new replacement bottle.
This is David Hartman. Tomorrow on Good Morning America, reaction to President Reagan's interim missile plan. Steve Birnbaum with more spring vacation bargains. We'll talk with Brooke Shields. Friday, Dionne Warwick. Next week, Carol Burnett on Good Morning America.
Tonight, a new generation bears the mark of Ralph and Maggie's forbidden love in the spellbinding conclusion of The Thornbirds. This afternoon, a history teacher recreates the Nazi youth movement to warn that it could happen again. The Wave, an ABC after-school special.
ABC News takes you where no camera has ever gone before. The private world of Pope John Paul II. Gain a deeper understanding of this extraordinary man who has created some controversy within the church.
It is my church.
An ABC News special, Easter Sunday.
Tuscan, Tuscan Supreme. One taste will tell you it's supreme ice cream.
Good afternoon, I'm Ernie Anastas. Coming up today at 5:30, a fiery plane crash this morning at Newark Airport. A Learjet, a touchdown, then suddenly flipped end over end. We'll have a complete report on that, and we'll also have this for you.
This is Enza Pila. She's 6 years old. She has a rare skin disease for which there is no cure. However, there is a treatment available. I'm Doris McMillan. I'll have more on the story.
Also today, live at 5:30, one of the stars of Thornbirds. Join us then.
Hi, I'm Joni Gregensen. I want to tell you about the new and exciting exercise program I've developed for Elaine Powers.
Everybody's power size, power size.
It's
Of course you do.
Don't you feel good about 7 Up?